Jaxon and I met Matt Ryan on Sunday. That was cool.
Really? That's awesome.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
I didn't know everybody in the sports squad knew Matt Ryan. I'm feeling really left out here.
I don't know Matt Ryan,
Matt Ryan fan.
Yeah, good dude.
On Sunday, the coolest thing that's ever happened in my life. I'll say that right now. I pull up in my cart to CBS.
Oh, he's got some big shot.
I've got a key in my hand. And I stand up, and Jim Nance puts his hand on my shoulder and says, "Do you have a key, my friend?" It was the greatest moment of my life.
And you said, "Yes, sir, I do."
Yes, and I handed him the key. Jim Nance flu game, by the way, no one knows this. Flu game, he was sick as a dog during the entire 4 days. But the nicest guy in the world.
So I'll put a disclaimer and say I only spent $200 for myself. Everything else was for other people that had paid me, and I think over the week it was $1,500.
And
that's not bad.
And he didn't get everything on his list because they were sold out of some of this stuff.
I feel our team spent like $6,000.
That's insane.
$6,000?
Yeah.
I spent maybe $400 on stuff.
I mean, everything you buy clothing wise is going to be at least $60 to $80, or you can
there's some
buy
t-shirts
Peter
for
Millar and spend $180.
Hello, everybody. This is Justin Gray, sports editor for the Bell Ringer and communication major at Augusta University, with another edition of the Sports Squad from Bell Ringer Phoenix Media. On this edition, we will discuss the historic 89th Masters Tournament, some Augusta University baseball, softball, and golf, and then finally we'll round it out with some MLB. Our panel includes AU cross-country runner Patrick Motes and baseball player J.Ben Haynes. Welcome in, guys.
Good to be back.
A month since we were last in here, I think.
Has it really?
Yeah, it's been 4 weeks. We did 2 virtual, obviously. That's a long time.
2 virtual, one off.
A little rusty.
Yeah.
But in case you live under a rock, there was a little tournament in Augusta this past week.
There might have been a little putt-putt tournament.
Probably one of the best ever, as Rory McIlroy wins it and completes the career Grand Slam, which was one of the coolest things I've ever seen. You can have whatever opinion you want to have about Rory, but that genuine reaction on the 18th green on Sunday after that playoff hole.
Was it on the 18th green, or did he sink it on 10?
No. They play 18. That way you have a chance to win it on 18 like everybody else. Mm-hmm. And then if you tie there, you go to 10 and then back and forth until somebody wins it or it gets dark. Mm-hmm. But he took down Justin Rose. Did you guys, are you big watchers of the Masters tournament? I know y'all played this weekend, but
yeah, I mean, I didn't get to watch a ton of it. I actually was there till 1 o'clock on Friday.
Oh, you actually at the tournament?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Thursday I watched a lot, and then we got done pretty early on Sunday, so I got to watch the last 8 holes from Rory and then the playoffs. So I got to watch it as much as I wanted to.
So you actually went to the tournament and stuff like that?
Yeah, on Friday I did.
So what was your experience like?
Well, I've been there before.
I've never been there. This is
my first time going for a practice round or for a tournament round. Mm-hmm. I've been twice to a practice round, which I don't know if you know about the practice rounds. They're kind of weird because it's super unserious because the players will go they'll put on the green, they'll finish the hole, and then they just go walk around and they put 20 balls around the green and just roll it.
Oh. Yeah, because I know they have the drive. They have the par 3 competition and the drive.
That's on Wednesday.
Yeah, and the drive, chip, and putt or whatever.
They're trying to map the greens. I've been on Tuesday twice.
Okay. I went on Tuesday this year. I took off work and went, and it was cool to see him up close. I didn't, Bryson didn't play a practice round. He just hit balls on the range for 10 hours. But
yeah,
a lot of the better players that have played there enough you have no reason to. Because you
kind of know how it goes.
You know the course.
Well, did you get some of that good cheap food?
Yeah, I got a breakfast sandwich, got a sweet tea, got a couple beverages.
There you go.
I'm 22 years old, by the way, for those listening.
Spring break.
Yeah.
It's golf
I think that was about it. I didn't want to go I wanted to spend as little time as I could in the concession stand. So
how much did you, if you don't mind, did you spend in the pro shop?
I didn't spend that much. My girlfriend got me a polo earlier in the week. So I just got my sister a sweatshirt and I got myself a hat.
That's awesome.
Which hat did you get?
I just got a basic like Navy Masters hat. Yeah. I don't like all those slogan hats for some reason. It's not my thing.
I have the Amen Corner one, but that's the only one I really like. And the new Crow's Nest one's pretty good. Jaxon has that one.
That's probably the best one they've had.
Yeah. Speaking of that guy behind the glass, I had to go shopping with him, and he had
a little shopping date.
He had a list front and back of people he was buying stuff from.
Oh gosh!
When I tell you, this man spent an absurd amount of money in the pro shop.
It's easy to spend.
Go ahead and if you're comfortable, drop that number for our listeners.
It's not his money, but it was still crazy.
So I'll put a disclaimer and say I only spent $200 for myself. Everything else was for other people that had paid me, and I think over the week it was $1,500.
And
that's not bad.
And he didn't get everything on his list because they were sold out of some of this stuff.
I feel our team spent like $6,000.
That's insane.
$6,000?
Yeah.
I spent maybe like $400 on stuff.
I mean, everything you buy clothing wise is going to be at least $60 to $80, or you can
there's some
buy
t-shirts
Peter
for
Millar and spend $180.
Well, see, I wish I would have bought a Peter Millar polo because I just bought the Masters Tech because I thought the Masters Tech was $110. I didn't even look at the price tag, and then I got home and it only spent $90, and I was upset with myself because I was expecting to spend $110 on the shirt, but it is what it is. It was a great tournament. It was so fun to work. Jaxon and I got to see, behind the scenes, and like 2 weeks before I got to set up out there. I think I mentioned that on the podcast and see it like that, and then I think we were out there for every tournament round at some point. Like on Saturday, one of the coolest things I've ever done in any sporting events I've ever been to, we walked up with the leaders, DeChambeau and Rose, on Saturday, and DeChambeau birdies the first, and then Rory birdied the first before him, and then DeChambeau's up on the green. It's insanely loud roar goes, it goes off in the distance. And I turned to Jaxon and I said, Rory he just eagled too. And he said, no way. And I was like, they're not doing that for a birdie. Like a birdie on two is what they do. And so we walked back down to the leaderboard and it said that he eagled two and he was 3 under through two. And then we went around to the other part to meet him at like 5, and when we got there, he was 5 under through 5. And it was just like the buzz in the place was like the cool, without phones, without anything like that. Yeah. You just had to find out through the scoreboard. One of the coolest things I've ever experienced was going 5 under through 5 holes. I don't know what Jaxon thought about it, and I know he's not a big Rory fan, so he wasn't too happy, but it was pretty awesome.
Now, seeing Rory do that, I was kind of upset because I really wanted Bryson to pull it out or Joaquin Niemann, which we knew that wasn't happening after the cut. But seeing it was just surreal. And just like being on 5 and waiting for the score to go up on the scoreboard, it was just like the anticipation of what he's going to do on the next hole was awesome.
What's the correlation with Joaquin Niemann?
He betted. He can say it if he wants, but
I put a future in for him like 3 weeks before the Masters, and after the first round it was pretty good, and then after that it just fell off.
He's had a couple good Masters.
He he plays in that fake league, and he isn't prepared enough for the Masters, which Jaxon, I learned this weekend, is like a kind of a live guy. Like he's more of a live guy than a PGA guy, in my opinion, because he was just rooting for the live guys. But
his favorite golfers are in live, I guess.
Yeah, I reckon so. But it was on this past Monday, 2 days ago, we got to go out there and tear down the towers, and seeing it after the tournament, like, just knowing what had happened, like they still had, the pin set up from the day before. You could see the shot that Rory hit. where he walked. It was awesome. This year was a way better experience working it than I had last year. Like I was at the course every day. It was a lot of fun.
It sounds like it. I've always wanted to go in there and stuff like that because we joke about it. Like we run past the front of it every single day, and so I'm like, man, one of these days I just need to ask that security guard. It's like, hey, I don't have a phone on me. Can I just take a jog down and back? Let me just do it. I'm leaving town. I'm never coming back here. I'm graduating.
I'll tell you this. Jaxon and I were up on 18th Tower on Monday, and he almost fell off. First off, which if you don't know, 18 Tower is that big tower. Mm-hmm. You can't miss it in the video. If you go watch any of the videos, you can't miss it. And we were taking down it's the biggest desk on the entire course on any of the towers. So you have to like do a pulley method, all that. Well, there's a little thing that zip ties the desk to the thing so the desk doesn't go flying. And Jaxon picks up something and trips over it. And he almost fell after someone warned him about it. And then we got this discussion that there might not be a better place on earth to die than falling off the 18 Tower at Augusta National. Like,
that'd be a crazy story.
It would. And,
talk about a lawsuit waiting to happen too, man.
And I think that we were both in agreement that if it was to happen, I don't think I'd be that upset, even at this young in my life. I think I'd be okay with it.
Yeah. Where were you when?
Knowing my dad, he'd probably be happy that I died on 18 green at Augusta National. So if he's happy about it, I don't mind.
What if Augusta National felt really bad and they just buried him there at Augusta? He's the only buried.
No one would ever know he died out there. They would shoot him to make sure he was dead.
Yeah. No. Where were you guys at when Rory won it?
We were back at. So the way it's stupid, but the way our job worked was. You have all these trucks, and every truck is set up to produce 4, 5, 6 feature groups, 18 or 17, 18, whatever. Like they have all these different groups, first 9, second 9.
That's like the groups you can watch on the Masters.
Right.
The holes you can watch.
All the trucks have different stuff, different broadcasts. And so when the leaders get through 4, 5, 6, you have to start tearing all that stuff down. Because all your stuff will start, or like all of CBS's like stuff, like the flags on the trucks and all that will start go missing because people want to take them home, and they want to keep them around. So you sit there for 4 days and don't do anything but watch the tournament, and then when it comes down to the best 12 holes of the entire tournament, you actually have to start working. So we were sitting out by these in a gravel lot by this thing called pods because people were bringing back their stuff from the course. And when Rory birdied 17, we could hear it. Like, we heard it before we saw it because the crowd, you could hear it. Yeah. And then he went to 18, and he was about to hit the par putt to win it before he went into the playoff. And we didn't hear anything. So we knew he missed the putt, and they were going to a playoff. Anyway, we wound up getting to go back up and watch the playoff in the office. There wasn't a dry eye in the place. Like, that was the greatest thing that could happen for CBS Sports. It was the most watched telecast in 7 years since Patrick Reed won it. Former Jag, national champion here.
Terrible person.
Yeah, just an absolute jerk. Jaxon did actually email his people to...
We gotta start talking good about him if we want him to come on the podcast.
He's not coming on the podcast.
Steal our podcast equipment.
Yeah, so
the sports who? That's what it'd be like.
But yeah, we did Jaxon emailed his people to try to get him to come on the podcast, but that was never happened. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, but like I almost shed a tear watching that reaction from Rory.
I had more of just a sigh of relief because I was actually on 20 coming in to town and stuff like that. Oh. And so I was trying to get it pulled up on my phone on Hulu and stuff, but it kept bugging out and stuff like that.
So you were glad it was over, is what you're saying?
Well, I was a sigh of relief that like he had won it and stuff because I was on the phone with my mom and I'm like, look, you're going to have to tell me what's going on right now. And she's like, oh, he missed it. I'm like, he missed the putt to win it? And I was like, oh my gosh, they're going to overtime and stuff. And then we were still on the phone. We were just chit-chatting while it was going on. And then she said that he had won it and stuff. And finally I was able to, I don't remember if I watched it or not, but I had my phone in my lap while I was driving down 20 and stuff. I was trying to I had to go pick up my girlfriend's cat from the house because she's in California this week. And so I was like trying to get over there to get the cat before I had to go back to my place because I was like, man, this traffic's going to be bad. Fortunately, it was all good though. He had won it. Traffic wasn't bad. I just never know how things are going to be. I always just assume worst case scenario. But I was glad that he had won it. Once I had saw that DeChambeau had kind of like fallen off and stuff, I was like, all right, Roy, you can't sell this, because at one point he was up by like quite a bit.
Oh, he was up by four strokes
five,
going
yeah.
into the back or second nine.
Yeah, and I was sitting in a restaurant watching when he hit the water hole on, it was 13.
13, yeah.
I was like, oh man.
Yeah. Jaxon and I actually saw him on Sunday. We were on TV. As they're walking up one, we asked to go to the concession stands conveniently at the perfect time that the leaders were teeing off.
Of course.
And so we went and we walked up one. We didn't know they were going to take the side angle when Rory was hitting out the bunker. We were trying to stay away from the cameras. And we stood exactly in the middle. Because why would they use the side camera, first off? That was just weird. Geez. But anyways, the cameras that they were using was over by Bryson on the left side of the fairway. Rory's on the right side. I'll get Jaxon to throw the picture up on the actual video of the podcast. But you could clearly see
they ratted
Jaxon.
Y'all out.
He was.
I think I saw what you were talking.
I
you
was
had
over the
texted
top.
His head was just.
Yeah, I was over the top of Jaxon, but Jaxon was like standing like this with his shades on, watching Rory, just hate watching, literally. But
yeah, like if you press the pause button, like if the pause button comes up on the video, you can't see me because I'm dead in the center of the frame. I was just.
So did you guys get back and they were like, so how was hole
they
one?
didn't see that.
they don't focus like we.
You said
were,
really some funny. CBS folks were tearing up.
Huh? Oh yeah.
That's probably because like that was the best thing that could have happened.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Him missing the putt on 18 was also the best thing that could.
Oh yeah, drama build,
and him,
people turned it on.
Having that lead and losing it. I don't know. I think I would have been happy if Rory or Justin Rose won it, because I think they both got pretty good stories. They've been there, done that a long time, and haven't won a big tournament in a long time. So I think for Rory, it was good that he had that big lead and then kind of lost it, and it was like kind of here we go again. And he was able to come through on that. I think that's why he was sort of so emotional, because he came out on the other end of another choke-esque Sunday in a major, and because he's already done that at Augusta twice. So yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah,
it couldn't have gone any better. Dustin Rose would have won. It would have been. I would have been fine with it, but a lot of people would have been pissed about it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think, for Justin Rose, it's kind of sad because, you don't feel like he's going to get that chance ever again.
Yeah.
He left out the altar
I'll be
for
honest,
the third time.
I think if Rory lost it, I don't think he would ever win it. Like, this was the year to do it. This was it. This was his window, and he capitalized on it.
Rose always plays well. I think he'll be back in that situation. I don't know. I feel like the thing is you kind of got to try and get in that situation at the end. And if it doesn't go your way, then oh well.
That's
it's
been
such a
3
hard
times
game
for him.
Yeah.
I watched the interview with Justin Rose. I just want to, his I guess professionalism.
Oh,
he was great.
Yeah.
That was awesome, and he was like I gave it everything I had, and to be in that position, and go head to head with him, that's about all you can ask for and stuff. So just kudos to him for that too, not acting all salty and stuff like that, because that's a tough pill to swallow right there.
I can't wait for that full swing of that.
Oh, that's going to be awesome. Jaxon and I met Matt Ryan on Sunday. That was cool.
Really? That's awesome.
Very nice guy.
Yeah, Matt Ryan's awesome, by the way.
Yeah. I didn't know everybody on the sports squad knew Matt Ryan. I'm feeling really left out here.
I don't know Matt Ryan,
fan.
Yeah, good dude. We're going to our seat. So last year I ran chairs every day. So basically you get to the gate at 3 o'clock in the morning. You wait till 7, and you run the chairs in, put them in their spot that people want them to be, and then you leave because you get 2 swipes on your badge. So you leave, give them the tickets, they go in because they don't want to get up early. So I just kind of did the same thing this year, but a little different. I kind of just put them at the gate. So I got there at 2:33, and then the people I was working for would get there at 6:30, and they would take them in. But Friday he got there and he was like, "Just come in with us. You can stay till 1:30." So we go through the gate, we go through security and stuff, and we're standing there. They stop you several times because they gotta wait for the people to draw the fairways and the greens. Mm-hmm. And I turn around and Ryan Fitzpatrick's standing there behind me. He didn't have to go through security. They just let him in. And then we go to our spot. We were between 13 green and 14 tee box. We set our chairs down and stuff. And then he just comes and sits down with us. It was awesome.
Nice. That's awesome.
Fitzpatrick or Matt Ryan?
Ryan Fitzpatrick.
That's awesome.
It was cool.
Do you guys know Pookie and Jet?
Oh
Yeah.
my God, they're
My
from
girlfriend
they're
saw
from
Pookie
Rome.
and Jet.
We
They're
met
from
them.
Rome.
Yeah,
And
we
they
met them.
Oh my gosh,
They were
dude.
super
You don't like
nice
Pookie
people.
and Jet? What's wrong with
What's
you?
wrong with Pookie and
They're
Jet?
just cringy. It's
The
funny, but
Pookster?
it's just
The
like
Pookinator?
dude,
I love Pookie and Jet.
I don't follow them or anything, but I've seen some of their stuff, and I'm just like, what are y'all doing?
Yeah.
Jet's a good dude.
He is. He's a great dude. I also ran into Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay.
And Jackson met Booger McFarland. A
Wow.
lot of famous people.
Booger.
Let me add something about Booger. He came up to me, and I was just sitting on my cart, right? He's like, how you doing? I'm Anthony McFarland. I didn't think anything of it. I was like, oh, some random guy, and introduced himself. I get back to the office, and I'm like, you know what, Anthony McFarland? And I looked up. Somebody else had said something about Booger, and I looked up what his real name was, saw it was Anthony, and I was just like, so upset about it.
You didn't recognize him?
No, he was trying to disguise himself. He was
Jackson-
wearing a hat and everything.
Jackson was in a bad place when he met Booger.
Is he still PO'd about Roy?
No. We both had to take, kind of high up people to the pro shop. And we had to, my understanding, I talked to my people. I don't know about Jackson, but the understanding was that we were going to wait on them for them to get out. I was going to go watch golf while they were in the shop. We'd meet back at a certain time. Well, Jackson's too, but his people didn't tell him that they were not coming back. So he sat out there for 2.5 hours, 3 hours at his cart right at the first tee, or like off the side of the first tee, waiting, and they just never came back.
That's hilarious.
And I was at a spot where you couldn't see any golf.
Oh no, you can't see golf from that spot.
Who did you take to the pro shop then?
Just two higher up people at
Not like famous athletes.
I was
just
like-
no,
I was
like
like-
just like important individuals
Oh,
in
okay.
CBS.
So then, what's Matt Ryan like? You can't just drop
He's
it.
an analyst.
Oh,
Yeah, he
he's
works
an
for
analyst for
CBS.
CBS. I forgot about
But
that.
he told us he was playing the course on Monday, which was cool. He said, "Not bad, right?" And I was like, "Screw you."
You should have just been like, nah.
No. He said it. Matt Ryan was barely down the hallway, and he goes, "I wanted to ask you something about 28-3." Like, just
No,
blatant.
let the
And
man live.
I was like,
Wow.
God, Jackson, you
Hey,
brutal, dude.
sorry.
Brutal. But on Sunday, the coolest thing that's ever happened in my life. I'll say that right now. I pull up in my cart to CBS.
Oh, he's got some
And-
big shot.
I've got a key in my hand. And I stand up, and Jim Nance puts his hand on my shoulder and says, "Do you have a key, my friend?" It was the greatest
Wow.
moment of my life.
And you
It was the greatest
said,
moment of my
"Yes,
life.
sir, I do."
Yes, and I handed him the key. Jim Nance flu game, by the way, no one knows this. Flu game. He was sick as a dog during the entire 4 days. But the nicest guy in the world, like super nice. He brought Kelvin Sampson up there on Sunday.
He had to help him out after
yeah.
that loss. Yeah.
But anyways,
Tragic.
that was
guy.
that was probably the greatest. I don't know. It's all downhill from here. From
yeah.
me.
So what shoulder can you just like never wash
it was my
again?
left shoulder.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was great. It was awesome.
My friend. Wow.
What'd y'all have to wear? Like a CBS polo and khakis?
Just a collared shirt with khakis or blue pants, just dress pants. And anyways, how cool would it have been to get the flu from Jim Nance?
I was
Like,
literally just thinking that in my head. I was like, what are you going to do if you get sick and get the flu? Like, Jim Nance gave me the flu.
Like, I wouldn't even be upset about it. But
You can put that on your
anyways,
resume. Jim Nance gave me the flu. Tell us something cool about yourself.
that actually would be a great fun fact.
Yeah.
Jim
That
Nance
would
gave me
be
the
great.
flu.
It's a good fun fact to have.
But I think that's all I got on the Masters tournament. Anybody got anything else?
It was
Jackson?
awesome. I enjoyed
It was
watching
great.
it. I got up on Sunday and turned it on and just drank some coffee. It was awesome. I always enjoyed
Old
watching.
man over here. Get up and drink coffee and sit in your recliner.
What's wrong with
Hey,
that?
I love coffee too, brother.
What was wrong? It was a sunny day outside. The birds
It's a
were
good routine
chirping.
to
It
have.
was a little bit. Yes, it
a
was a
life
little bit
routine.
cooler. Yeah, exactly. And it's a little bit cooler outside. It was a little,
It
little
was
crisp in the
awesome.
air,
It was
and it's just the
You
Masters and
sit
your
there and
coffee.
reflect. And you got a
Exactly.
big day ahead.
Yes,
Excited.
absolutely.
Great spot to be in.
Yeah, and you're
I do
sitting
that
there
on
knowing, yeah,
football Saturday.
exactly. And you sit there
Wake
knowing
up
some-
early.
Yeah,
It's about to be a great day.
I do that on
Exactly.
football.
Sit there,
Saturday.
relax.
I
Yeah.
said that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I know. Jabin, he knows ball, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I
Justin,
do that-
Justin
I
sits
do-
out there with a Celsius in the morning. Cold Celsius.
And that
You
gaudy
dang right I
orange.
do.
Oh, Justin, you're funny, man.
Did you have anything, Jackson?
I just wanted to say that it was like opportunity of a lifetime. Got to talk with Jim Nance. Got to meet a bunch of people. I'll have the opportunity to tell the story that I saw Rory McIlroy on Sunday of the Masters. So, wish he would have choked, but nothing you can do about it.
Did y'all ever sleep? Did y'all sleep at all?
Dude, so Wednesday night before the tournament started, we worked until like 8:30 or 9 at night. We go into the office to leave, and they say be here at 6 a.m. tomorrow, which, if you don't know, we had to take shuttle, so we had to be at the DoubleTree at 5:30. So
why did you have to take? Don't you live right down the road?
Yeah, but you have to have a parking pass,
Just walk.
You can't walk in.
It's a brutal week, but you get paid.
You do get paid for it, and it's worth it. But met Scott Van Pelt. You want to talk about the weirdest looking guy, and no offense to Scott Van Pelt, like he's like Victor Wembanyama height. It says 6'6" on the internet. It's not right. There's no way he's 6'6".
Was he like 6'10"?
Yeah, Jackson didn't believe me when I told him that was Scott Van Pelt. Like, he didn't think it was Scott Van Pelt, but it was. Like, I could tell by his voice, and I talked to him. But like, weirdest looking guy ever. But no offense, of course.
I've just heard a lot of the sports people like working the Masters because they just treat everybody right there. It's just like a first class experience.
Oh yeah, there's just there's celebrities everywhere you go. It's pretty cool. Roger Steele, who's a content creator, was all around the place all weekend. But anyways, we'll move on to some AU sports. Great 89th Masters tournament. We'll start off with baseball. You guys lost the series to USC Aiken this past weekend. Took the middle game. I guess what are the vibes like? You're sitting in the PBC tournament. You should be in pretty easily. So what are the vibes like around the team right now?
Yeah, we're in. Last weekend was a big series for us to try and climb, go past Aiken. We had a chance on Sunday to win that game. I think it was like 7-7 all the way until the bottom of the 8th. It was 2-2 all the way to the bottom of the 8th. And then we just struggled to get some outs, get up a seven spot. And it wasn't enough. We had several opportunities during the game with runners in scoring position and less than 2 outs to score runs. And we just didn't, so it stayed at 2-2. So when you get up a 7th spot like that, you can't really you can't be like, oh, well, the bullpen, because you didn't capitalize on opportunities to score on offense earlier in the game. So that kind of stung. Got a little chippy there at the end of that game. And so no Parker Ingram tonight for the Belmont Abbey game. He got ejected and suspended for today.
I'm glad you said that.
One of their guys, he hadn't. Parker really didn't do anything wrong. He had a double in the top of the 9th and cleared the bases. And then after this pitcher was just a real piece of work. I guess I'll leave it at that. And they got the last out, and he just went up and got in Parker's face. So I don't think Parker really had a choice, but nonetheless got ejected.
What they do? Just basically start cussing each other out? But how did Parker get ejected?
It was a little bit of altercation, and then the dugout's cleared, so nothing really happened. It was just words.
Did the other guy get ejected?
The other guy's suspended for 2 games, and they don't have a midweek, so he has to miss basically a whole weekend series this weekend.
I got thrown out in high school for that same thing in baseball. I mean, I was the last out of the game and ran through first, and the guy turns around, starts cussing me out, and he throws both of us out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that happens a lot in baseball.
I think baseball needs to let fights happen just a little bit more.
I think baseball needs to stop letting everybody do what they want. I don't mind some bat flipping, but let's hit them for it too. Make them pay. I'm down for both of it. So yeah, I don't think suspensions in baseball are worth a crap because you're getting suspended against Belmont Abbey tonight. Like it happened against USC Aiken. I would let it happen. Just let it happen.
Yeah, I mean it is what it is. It was chippy the whole game, so both teams already had warnings. So I think that's why they didn't really have a choice. And yeah, so now we got Georgia Southwestern this weekend, Flagler the next weekend. We got to win a few games to climb up the rankings because the last thing you want to do is in a double elimination tournament. You don't want to play a team the regular season conference champions in the first round. So we're going to try and climb a couple spots if we want a chance at making some noise in the tournament. So it's still right in front of us. So.
And then Southwestern this weekend. What's the outlook on them? I know they're pretty good.
They're a little bit down this year. A lot of they were good in my college career so far. They've been really good because they've had a really good rotation. But their pitching coach from last year left and went to Francis Marion. So all their pitchers went and left to Francis Marion. They got a couple good weekend arms. They lost some hitters as well, but they're always a good squad. So we got our work cut out for us. The good thing is we're back at home, which is really nice and exciting. So, like I said, it's right in front of us. We still kind of control where we want to be in the conference tournament. So, we just got to keep going, try and grind some wins out.
Move on to softball, who picked up their first Peach Belt Conference Series win of the season, which is, kind of crazy as good as they've been to struggle that bad in conference play. I think they're 25-23 overall, so like a great season, just have not been able to win conference series, not many conference games. They're actually not even in the picture, the playoff or the tournament picture. They're the 9 right now, top 8 make it. They're down 1 game to USC Beaufort, who I believe swept them. So it's definitely uphill for them as well. Don't see no reason they can't, find their way in. They've been playing a lot better lately. They took 2 out of 3 from USC Aiken, which they're pretty good, like 10-11 in conference play. But anyways, good luck to the softball team as they play. Let me double check.
Lander, I think it's Lander.
Is it Lander? University of North Georgia this weekend. Friday and doubleheader Friday 1 and 3, Saturday at 11. That'll be obviously what the challenge North Georgia
That's
brings.
Here, right?
It is here. Top 10 team in the Nighthawks, and then Lander next weekend to close out the season at home as well. So they don't leave Augusta again. And if they don't, if the picture stays how it is, they won't have to take a bus anywhere else. So
hey, that's good.
They win yesterday.
They did. They swept Newberry 1-0. They won the first game 1-0. Won second game 12-7.
Yeah, by the way, that's not good. You said they won't have to travel anywhere. That's not good because they don't
because
travel.
then they
don't
wouldn't
go to
make the
conference tournament.
That's what I was saying. If it stands as how it is,
My fault.
but
He framed it like a good thing though.
yeah, I did.
Misleading.
That's on me. I'll take the blame. Hand up right there.
Jim would be disappointed.
My friend.
Yeah, as his friend. It's kind of like I was playing hard to get because I didn't say friend back. So he's like, he wants to be my friend. Just saying.
Man, you didn't say friend back?
I should have. I was
Maybe
so
he
nervous.
has to say friends on the broadcast, so he's just like it's wired into his head. So he just said friend to you.
I mean,
Hello,
I was
friends.
the first. There was millions that heard that on Sunday. I was the first. Just want to say that. Jackson says that he probably said it in the meeting before, but I'm not going to listen to that. Anyways, we'll move on to AU Women Golf. They actually trail for the first time in they've won back-to-back conference championships. They're down 10 strokes to Texas A&M Corpus Christi.
Right now?
And
Wow.
yes, and round 3 is today, which it sounds like a lot, but it's not because A&M Corpus Christi was down 8 strokes after the first round to Augusta, but shot a 5 under yesterday. So like they careered it yesterday to get into the lead. I think the Jags are still going to come out on top just because they've been so consistent, more consistent than anyone in the tournament. So we'll see how that goes. They'll tee off, or they just teed off. The first ladies from Augusta just teed off. So we'll keep you updated on that. And then that's all we have for AU. The men's golf team had a rough tournament Monday and Tuesday. And it was hosted by Georgia Southern in Richmond Hill. They finished last in that. And so they have the Southland coming up next week, I believe, the 23rd through 25th. So they'll try to defend their title there. And shout out to Lady Jag Zoe Pinillos, who leads, the player side of it with a score of 2 under through 2 rounds.
Oh,
Pretty
sweet.
impressive. I wish I could.
Yeah.
She's Peruvian.
Is she?
Yeah.
Peruvian.
Yeah.
Something you don't usually see on
No.
Augusta Golf.
I say we get into that time of
A
the
lot
year
of
where
South Africans, but
not
not
a lot
many
of
Peruvians.
Not a lot of South Americans.
we're getting that time of year where a lot of the spring sports are starting to wrap up. Like it's about to be conference
The year's
season.
wrapping
They
up.
go to Georgia
Yeah.
Tech Friday.
Yeah, we'll be at Tech
yeah.
Friday night.
Avery won't be there though. Is that how-
Avery is going.
Avery is
Oh,
going.
he's
We've
gonna be-
had a
What's
we've
it
actually
called?
had a pretty
Brian
busy-
Clay?
Brian Clay.
every
Clay.
week your girl in California.
Stop. W-Rage, baby. Stop. It's actually been pretty busy in track because we had that.
I mean, he does set school records all the time.
yeah,
he's a
I don't.
catch.
Yeah.
If I was
I
a girl-
don't. I guess I'm. We'll just go ahead and say I'm a fraud. All right, that's fine. That's fine. No, because we had the meet that Friday night before spring break, so we had that one, which went actually
Where
really
was
well.
that at?
Anderson. It went really well. I would say, like, I think a lot of people on the team would say that it didn't go as well as they were hoping, but considering it was extremely hot, I don't know if y'all remember how hot it was that week going in. It was really hot. I thought our steeplers did a really good job taking the race out and like pushing the pace and running hard and stuff because that's what it's going to be at conference for them. I thought our 5Kers did a really good job. 10K guys did a really good job. Shout out to my roommate, Matthew Moore. He dropped another little 5-second PR after he's been kind of injured this season. So good job for him. And then our mile squad balled out. Everybody ran a really good mile. That was a lot of fun. I was nervous for that one, but it was a good time.
And then the conference meet is the 28th and 29th.
Yep.
So that's down in Daytona.
Yep.
I'm sure you guys are ready to get down there.
Yeah, we definitely are. It'll be a good time for sure.
Okay, I'll ask you this because it's after I, got done with work, it kind of hit me that like everything's coming to an end. Like I'm about to graduate. So for you, is that kind of like something you're looking forward to, or it's like that's the end, and you don't even want to think about it right now?
I think it's kind of a mixture of both. I'm kind of ready to be done, and I'm not like afraid to say that to anybody. It's been it's been a great 4 years. I mean, I've been running for like 12 years of my life, so
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to having some free time and kind of like training this summer on my own. I kind of have some projects kind of set up that I wanted to see what I can do this summer, but I'm gonna miss the team aspect and like the little like behind the scenes stuff of like when you're like playing cards in the hotel lobby or just kind of like joking around and stuff like that. I'll miss that the most. Like I'm gonna miss this team a lot. We've got a really good chemistry over there. But racing and stuff like that, I'm excited for it. I'm really just trying to like not put a ton of pressure on myself because I know that what I'm capable of, and especially as a senior, but I'm really just trying to enjoy the last couple of races because you can go out and, do road races all day and stuff, but it's not really the same as like, putting on a uniform and being part of a team and stuff like that. So I'm really
Can't create that again.
No, you can't. So I'm really trying to just enjoy that aspect and kind of just take some of the pressure off and just be a teammate, for a couple more weeks and stuff because that's about all I got left. But yeah, I'm kind of ready to be done, take a little bit of time off.
It's such a grind for so long that it makes you want to like be excited about like a new chapter of life where you don't have that responsibility every day.
Yeah.
But like the best part about being a college athlete is like bus trips, road trips, staying at the hotel.
Absolutely. Dinner.
Playing done games. Yeah, going to dinner. It's just like kind of having like a group of friends set for you that you can that you can always hang out with on the field, off the field. But it is exciting, but it's also kind of
Are you ready to play golf once or twice a week?
Yeah, I am.
I feel that because that's the greatest thing about not having anything to do.
I think part of me is just ready to be like, I don't have like a set schedule because, like I said, we take 2 weeks off.
That's what you say right now, and then in about 6 months, you'll find clubs on Marketplace for a good deal, and then you'll buy them, and then you'll be addicted, and then you'll play 2 or 3 times a week.
No, 6 months from now, I will be going through training. I will be very busy.
And golfing.
There will be no golfing. There will be no golfing. No, I just like, the summer training plan is always fun and stuff like that sometimes, but it'll be kind of nice to, like, if it's like a Tuesday and I wake up and I'm just like,
gonna lay in bed.
Just lay in bed, or go run later or whatever.
What are you training for?
So I'm going through the hiring process right now for the DNR Academy to be a game warden and stuff like that.
That's awesome. So
I actually had my interview over spring break, so that was pretty good too. So I'm planning on just kind of, obviously I'm not gonna run 70 miles a week. I don't really care to do that over the summer. But I plan on
so you're training to work for the DNR.
Yeah. So like swimming and stuff.
Like are you going to run less and work out more, or like
I'm going to hit the pool and stuff like that and build some tone off of that, and then the weight room a little bit. Like, I mean, I'm not trying to get like yoked or anything. I don't think I can if I tried. I'll be honest. Like, I don't know if I could if I tried, but just put on like
bulking season.
Maybe no. I just put on a little bit of weight and just try something new. I've enjoyed running so much, but I used to swim, and so I kind of want to get back into that and try something new again and kind of mix it up a little bit. But I'm looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
That's awesome. Good luck in
Appreciate
that
it.
process and all. And we'll move on to our final thing today. We'll talk about the Braves. Touchy subject.
Some good news this morning, though, that came out.
Yes, the man is back. 99 returns to the heel. Spencer Strider. First
He's on the
time
bump.
in 376 days. I don't know why he's starting a game at 1 o'clock in Toronto. I'd rather him pitch Friday
game's at
night
1
in
today?
Atlanta. Yes. I'd rather him pitch Friday night in Atlanta, but it's okay. I'm excited to watch him pitch, period. No mustache, full beard, and let's see, surprise. He said he wasn't running with the mustache no more. But anyway, Braves are 5-12. But I don't think Braves fans should panic. I don't think you should panic. I know
It's just
it looks
hard.
bad.
It's just hard to watch right now.
It is. It's a hard watch right now. But
that
listen,
game 2 nights ago, that was great to watch. And then you get in there last night and you're like,
when we get to 162 games in, these 17 games are not going to matter. The Braves are going to be right at the top of the division. I would still place a bet that they win the division right now. I think the Mets fall apart, and I'm not sold on this Phillies team. Not sold on the Braves team either. I'm just saying, I feel like
the Phillies won that series in Atlanta, though.
no,
right?
the Braves won that series in Atlanta. Once you get Acuna back in 2 weeks, let's go on a run. Let's see what happens. You just try to stay afloat right now. Stay within 4 or 5 games under. If just stay right there at that 500 mark. Get Acuna back in that lineup. Get Marcel back this weekend, and let's go on a run. I think as much as I've been upset, that Dodger series was as hard as it gets to watch, especially when Ohtani walks it off in Game 3. Went to work the next morning. It was on the TVs everywhere. I was as close as I've ever been. We talked about it on the podcast. I was thinking some bad things, but
Understandable.
I think we're going to be okay. I mean, we're 5-5 in the last 10. I just think you start out west with the way this team was playing. It was never going to go
Just go
well.
play a good Padres team, and then you go play the assembled Madden Mutt team over there and Dodger Stadium. So of course it's going to be tough. Of course you're going to start out 0-7.
Well, not of course you're going to start at 0-7. You should have won a few of those. You should have won an opening day. You probably should have. You had a real chance to split that Padres series. Should have won Game 3 of the Dodgers series.
I think the only way they win the division is if it's like, I guess what it was in 2021, where I don't think they win more than 90 games. So it's gonna have to be a weird situation where like they win 87 games and they win the division by a game. I just think, and I know this because I'm on a team right now that's like this. They're way too reliant on the deep ball. They're way too reliant on hitting home runs.
I agree.
They scored 4 runs yesterday, and 3 of them are homers. And the bullpen's not good enough to be that reliant on homers, because you're going to give up runs late, and you got to be able to have guys that have good long at bats and see a lot of pitches and get on base, and like string some runners together. That way you can score big innings. Because it seems like we just have. It's just solo homer after solo homer for them right now. And so I think Ozzy's been playing well. Olsen's been playing well.
Riley's
Yeah, he's doing good.
Like if they want to like win a lot of games and like guarantee themselves a chance to win the division, Acuna's gonna have to come back and just like be just an on base machine. He's gonna have to get on first and steal second base a lot, which. That's super underrated in today's game. I also know that because a guy that was on our team last year that plays at Georgia Tech, he made our offense so much better without even realizing it because he stole so many bases. That's the most underrated stat in baseball. Because if you get in scoring position, you got a really good chance to score, and you don't have to hit as many extra base hits or homers. And so I don't know. It's a little worrisome for me, but I think the pitching gets better.
I see Aaron Bummer get on the mound, and I'm like,
hey,
this is
I mean, we got Bryce Elder.
When
Bryce Elder gets run out there, you know you're going to lose the baseball game.
Yep.
And that's the spot you should not have to be in.
And that's today. I mean, Strider's coming back and taking that spot.
Yeah, so that'll be good.
Yeah, and I think the most underrated, and obviously Acuna gets on base, still second. That's the greatest thing he does. I think what he does more is provide a spark to this team, aside just being at the top of the lineup.
Yeah.
And, that pitcher having to – I mean, it's a big – no offense to Michael Harris. I think he's the best center fielder defensively in baseball. There's a big difference trying to get Ron Acuna out and then Riley and Olsen in the first inning than Harris or Albies, Riley and Olsen. Like, that lineup gets – I mean, it becomes the best lineup best lineup in baseball.
In my opinion, I think a lot of people think like this. Some people don't. You want your best hitter to hit leadoff because you want your best hitter to have the most at-bats over the stretch of a season. And that's why Shohei's batted leadoff for a little bit there. You got to kind of pick and choose because you want them to be in RBI spots, but the Braves will always bat Acuna leadoff just because he's so good at hitting extra base.
And they tried to move him back in the order and he couldn't do it. I mean, it's just not his thing.
I think it'll be good to have him at the top instead of it was Profar, but
screw him.
Michael Harris is gonna have to pick it up a little bit.
He's gonna have to go
and be better on offense for them to really have a shot at it. Because I think the Mets are gonna.
So when Ronald comes back, I mean, technically our outfield will be what? Kelenic, Harris, and Acuna, right?
Kelenic, Verdugo. They're going to bring up Verdugo at some point.
They'll split it. Okay. I mean, that's still I like that outfit.
Well, I don't think they're going to split it because they both hit left-handed. I think Verdugo comes up, Kelenic gets sent down or sent out.
You think he's going to be gone?
He just hasn't done much for the Braves. I mean, I love Jared Kelenic. I wish he could succeed. He's just not a great MLB hitter. He's not a good MLB hitter.
Yeah.
And I think Verdugo's a better MLB hitter. He's hit like 280 in his career. And yeah, I don't really know what went wrong with Verdugo's free agency in this offseason. Like, I think he's capable of holding down left field in Atlanta. I think he's capable of holding down left field in a lot of places. But I'm excited for him to come up. And Kimbrel, he's down in Double-A. I know he's at the back end of his career, but I'm always going to be more confident with that guy coming out the pen than
when's he coming
Ineos de los Santos.
Oh, yeah.
He just got sent to Double-A. He pitched last night. I would imagine it's going to be 2 weeks.
Are they just trying to get him 7 or 8 opportunities? Why are we? Was he injured?
He got signed right before spring, or right as spring training was ending. So his spring training is now in Double-A.
Okay.
Like his games, he's going to pitch 8 appearances and then come to Atlanta.
Okay.
But I'm obviously always optimistic about this team because the Braves win. That's just what they do. And I think once they get going, they string off a week of 6-1 or 5-2 and start to get ahead of that and start to get that record back up to 500, over 500. I think they're going to go a little bit. And I think at the All-Star break, we can be looking back at this and being like, why were we worried? Like, this team was always going to hit. Like, they're too good for this to keep going. Like, they are. If Marcel's hitting like we
just have to expect at least one more drop off in the season at some point. Like, they'll catch some fire at some point, and then we just have to expect one more cold snap.
The only worrisome thing is, like, you better hope it happens. Because if they don't make the playoffs this year, then the ownership's going to force Anthopoulos to sell, and they're going to trade some of your favorite players.
Yep. Hey, on a funny note,
they better hope they get hot.
Yeah. On a funny note,
because if they think their window's closed, then they're going to sell. Aside from Acuna.
Oh,
they got to pay money.
Yeah, well, the problem is it's hard for them to sell because everybody's on 10-year deals like Olsen, Riley. I mean, Albies they'll sell Albies at some point, I believe, and like that. But what were you saying?
Talk about what's his name, Wiley out there on
Wiley Ballard. Okay,
man.
First off, that needs to be talked about because it's pretty
insane.
Controversial.
That was
right
insane.
Now. It's very controversial on the internet about him.
It depends what website. It depends what website you're looking at. If you're looking at Old Row or anything, they're like, he's the GOAT. If you're looking at anywhere else, they're like this guy's extremely unprofessional. Did you hear about it?
So basically, the broadcast cut to Wiley interviewing 2 ladies in Toronto.
Young ladies.
His age.
Oh, he got her number. Yeah,
he got her number.
Yeah.
And they were just having a good time, whatever. And now he's being called misogynist and all of these things, which we're not going to get political. We're not going to get like that.
Nope.
But it's 162 games. Let somebody have some fun every now and then. Let's just take a chill pill. Like,
hey, it happened outside of the
he's
borders.
a grown man. She's a grown woman. Like,
it happened in Canada. It didn't even happen in the States.
Yeah, exactly.
So what are we worried about?
What
are we worried
Canada
about?
stays in Canada. I mean,
Yeah,
more
exactly.
power to him. Like,
I thought it was hilarious.
It was a great move.
I thought it was hilarious. I was like,
you put her
yo!
on the spot. Like, you put her on the spot. How could she say no?
I was just laughing. I was like, this is hilarious.
Those guys get bored. So
I mean, it was hilarious. They were up
And
by
Wiley's
entertainment.
like the great, like, you can just tell he's like a genuine nice
people
guy.
guy.
Like,
Yeah.
and last night, after all the controversy throughout the day, they cut to him doing a seesaw on a hot dog in the stadium. So, like, dude
saw
doesn't
that
care.
too.
Like,
He doesn't
could care
care.
less.
He's just out there doing his job.
Yeah. I mean,
Making
it's
funny
a long
content.
season. I would love to have his job. So,
Eh.
no, I mean, as in, like, what he gets to do every day for his life. But that's all I've got.
I thought
Anybody
that was
got anything else?
No.
I'm good.
Ready to watch some more Braves baseball.
Are you really right now?
Yeah,
Because-
I'll turn it on.
I'm going to turn on because Strider's on the mound today. But anyway, that's the end of our show today. Thank everyone for listening. A big thanks to our panelists for coming on the show. We will be back next week with another episode. The Sports Squad is a production of Bellringer Phoenix Media. Jasmine Garcia is the TVC Lab coordinator. Jaxon Garner is the producer. Dr. David Bulla is the coordinating producer. We are coming to you from the TVC Lab and University Hall on the Summerville campus of Augusta University. The opinions stated here are those of the individuals, not Augusta University. You can find us at abellringer.com, on the Augusta Press website, on Spotify, and on social media. Please send your comments to bellringerproduction@gmail.com. Have a great day, and listen again soon. This is Justin Gray saying so long. Back at you next week. We're out.